Ladies and gentlemen, in your program, you've got the lyrics to You're a Grand Old Flag. We really want to have a great community sing-along right now, so we're going to play the melody 3 times. On the 3rd time, we would love to have you all join in and sing You're a Grand Old Flag.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the annual Batavia Flag Day celebration and the historic groundbreaking for the Fox Valley Patriotic Organization's Flag Day Monument. If I could have your attention, please, if you could please kindly stand and remove your hats and face the flag. We have color guards today escorting our flag by the Knights of Columbus, Marquette Assembly, the Sons of the American Revolution, and the official flag raising ceremony and Pledge of Allegiance will be done by the Boy Scouts, followed by the Star Spangled Banner. Please turn your attention to the flag. And now please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us on what promises to be a very memorable and very hot afternoon. Appreciate everybody coming out here and braving the elements, and a special thank you to all of our military personnel, our first responders, and our police and fire. Could we please get a round of applause for all those who bravely serve our nation? My name is Austin Dempsey, and I have the privilege of being the president of the Fox Valley Patriotic organization, and I'm happy to welcome you all here to this historic event. There are a number of groups and organizations that have participated in helping provide the event that we are at today, plus all the fundraising to go forward with the monument project. And in the preparation for today's 3-hour presentation, or 15-minute presentation. There are so many groups to thank. I'm just going to go really quickly down a list to thank our sponsors and our supporters. And so if you can please hold your applause till the very end, that would be great. First, we are joined here by a true American hero, and I will call him up onto stage later, but Congressional Medal of Honor recipient Alan Lynch. We'd like to thank the Batavia Community Band under the direction of John Heath, the entire Batavia Flag Day Committee, the Fox Valley Patriotic Organization Board, the Batavia Park District, our City Administrator, Ms. Laura Newman, the City of Batavia Communications Manager, Lori Botterman, the entire Batavia City Council, our Batavia Police, Fire, and Electrical Departments, Patrick Moynihan from Wave Foreign Media, True Patriots Care, who provided the flags, the Knights of Columbus Color Guards, the Sons of the American Revolution Color Guard, Boy Scout and Scout troops from all over our area are here tonight, which is great. Many of them in uniform, and these are truly incredible young men and women. If you get a chance to talk to them afterwards, you will be inspired by the conversation that you have with these amazing scouts. We'd like to thank BATV and Mr. Dave Peebles. In addition to that, our sponsors for the evening, the Community Foundation of the Fox River Valley. We're delighted to have foundational sponsorship from the Dunham Foundation, Duncan Alexander, Kit Keeney, the Swanson family, the Kluber Architects and Engineers, just to name a few, and there's dozens and dozens of more that I don't have time to thank, but to thank all of you for being here and taking part in this historical event. We're making history today, not only celebrating what Dr. Bernard Sagrand put out and his passion for creating a national day in recognition of our flag, but also because we're breaking ground on this incredible monument. Today, there is going to be a flag waving ceremony over at the monument site, which we encourage you all to participate in. We're going to be taking some photos via drones, and we are going to be incorporating into this project a time capsule which will be set on the dedication of this monument on Flag Day of next year. And 101 years from right now, the next generation of Americans will open this time capsule and get to see all of you waving your flags and participating in this historical event. So for everyone who braved the heat and everybody who supported this project, can we just get a really big round of applause for everybody here? It is now my privilege to introduce a man whose unwavering dedication to not only our community, to the Fox Valley, but also to this project is renowned. A man who has been a public servant for decades and who really needs no introduction, but please welcome with a warm round of applause our mayor, Mr. Jeffrey Shelke.
Thank you, Austin. We would not be standing here today were it not for Austin's leadership and his commitment to this and the money he's raised and the time he's spent. He's somebody that really has made a difference for the good in the life of Batavia, both today and in the future. I'm here today to share with you a very short story that I think will kind of set the stage for what we're all about. And what I want to tell you about is if you go up to the Batavia Library and go into the Batavia room, they have a complete set of collection of Batavia High School yearbooks. And the first set of yearbooks were published between 1912 and 1917. And in the 1917 yearbook, there's a very, very special picture. Because in that picture, it shows the 8th grade class that's about to come into the then new Batavia High School, which had just been built. That was the building we tore down to build the new library a few years back. But the school district had just opened up their new building. And in this picture, there's all the students from the west side of town. And among those in this picture, and I think the brochure you have will show you a copy of what it looks like. In this particular picture, there is somebody standing on I believe it's the right-hand side, and her name is, we think it's Beth Segrand. It's Dr. Segrand's daughter. And we've gotten different ideas as to what her name was, but checking the census numbers, it looks like her name is Beth. And Lucille Gustafson, who was in that picture, called her Beth, so we're going to call her Beth. So we have in that picture the daughter of the gentleman who, with several other American citizens, is credited with putting the idea of Flag Day out there for June 14th. And the idea being that that was the day in 1777 that Betsy Ross came into the Congress with this flag that they adopted. But beyond that, we had a situation that in that particular year, Flag Day had just been officially proclaimed in 1916 by Woodrow Wilson as kind of a momentum thing to build patriotism at the start of World War I. So there was a lot of motion going around the American flag at that particular moment. And Flag Day had just been celebrated, other things were happening, we were going to war. A lot of things were very patriotic and mentioned. But also in that picture is another young lady who's standing on the left-hand side. She's got a red mark around her head too, and her name was Marion Moon. And Marion Moon was the daughter of Reverend Fay Arnold Moon, who at that time, between 1915 and 1918, was the minister of the Batavia United Methodist Church, which is still the building standing up on the top of the hill. And Reverend Moon left Batavia in 1918 to become a chaplain in World War I. He took his family out of Batavia, took them down to Georgia. And as far as we know, we don't think Marion Moon ever came back to Batavia, but she left quite a memory. And so she just disappeared. And then one day in 1969, all of a sudden we get NBC, CBS, everybody and their brother into Batavia wanting to know about Marion Moon. Because who was Marion Moon? Well, Marion Moon ends up being the mother of Buzz Aldrin, who landed on the moon and planted the first American flag on the moon. So in this Batavia High School yearbook picture, we have the daughter of the founder of American Flag Day, along with the mother of the guy who put the first American flag out of this world. And so I think that's probably a history story that Batavia can be extremely proud of. So now I'm told we have a plaque to present. I'm introducing Linda Shelke here, who's got some comments to make.
I would like to share just a moment of little information about another fine patriotic Fox Valley citizen, Dr. Segran's granddaughter, Carol Mazaraca, who was also very active over the years in promoting the observance of Flag Day. Living her entire life in Aurora, Carol carried on her grandfather's passion for teaching others to wave and respect the American flag. It was only fitting that she should pass away on the 4th of July in 2017 at the age of 83. But today, we are honored and delighted to have with us Carol's 3 sons, Mike, Perry, and Dan. Would you please join us on the stage? We are so delighted that you're with us tonight, and I know that you have brought some of the younger generation with you also. Would you like to introduce them?
Yeah, I have my nephew Andre and my niece Allison. Do you want to stand or
Just wave.
Okay.
Dr. Segran's great-great-grandchildren. Wonderful to have all of you. Well, we hope that the monument we are preparing to build will bring honor to your great-grandfather, your mother, and to you and your families now and in the future. So again, we appreciate you being here. And now, as we have done for the past 5 years, we would like to present the Dr. Bernard J. Segran Patriot Award to someone who models the best in American patriotic spirit. Someone who has worked tirelessly for the past 6 years in fundraising and friend-raising for this national caliber monument that will forever be a symbol of Batavia's gratitude to the many who have done so much for our freedoms throughout American history under the banner of Old Glory. This year we honor not only Dr. Segran, father of Flag Day, we also honor the 2022 father of the Flag Day Monument, Austin Dempsey. And if Austin's wife, Melissa, and children would like to come up for a quick photo, we'd love that. Gentlemen, wait for just a second. You get to have your picture taken with Austin and his family, if they're here. Would you have your picture taken? Yep.
All right, everybody, please smile. Ready, 1, 2. All right.
Here, oh, we now get ready, quick. Go, go. We got the family coming here. Yay.
Come on out, guys.
Melissa and 3 of the cutest little people you ever want to meet.
Be ready. There you go. Yeah, come on. Let's do that right. All right, ready? All right, nice smile, everybody. All right, look at me. Ready, 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Segran descendants.
I do have to point out my daughter's amazing Flag Day outfit, if anybody wants to take a look at it. She's beautiful. Linda and Jeff, thank you guys. I truly appreciate it and did not know that was coming, so quite the surprise. Thank you guys. One of the people earlier today asked me, how did this all start? And so I figured I'd just briefly talk about this project. There was a group of very patriotic Batavians who came together and who come together every year to celebrate the 4th of July. For over 70 years, this community has had a 4th of July fireworks show that is put on by volunteers who raise volunteer dollars in the community, and they put it forward, and we're very blessed to have participation from our park district and our police and our fire department, but it's an entire volunteer show. So everybody who has gone to the Batavia fireworks show ever, you've been the beneficiaries of a group of very hardworking people that get together. And the idea for a monument to honor Dr. Segran's memory and legacy came out of that group several years ago. And through many years of hard work and many iterations of the design, we believe we're putting forward a monument that Dr. Sagrand would be, and his family will be very proud of, that stands as a living legacy to the honor and memory of not only Dr. Sagrand, but what he stood for, which is to honor our national emblem of our flag. You know, it is the testament of every generation of Americans to build a better future for the next generation. And we today stand on a foundation that was built by the hardworking Americans who have come before us. And it is our honor to be able to put a monument that helps to honor and display the fact that no matter what side of the country you're on, what party you're part of, red or blue, purple, in the middle, doesn't matter, the flag represents all of us. We are one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And we're going to take a look at the monument site in a minute, but before we do that, I need to bring some folks up on stage to help to talk about the design of the monument a little bit, because it's just too good to pass up on this opportunity. So I'd like to welcome onto the stage our design and construction team for this monument, who has a dubious task of getting this thing completed on Flag Day of next year. So please welcome me, and joining on the stage, Mr. John Green, our civil engineer from ERA. John, if you're out there, please come on up. Here comes John. Thank you. Our structural engineer, Mr. Jeff Bruns from Kluber Architects and Engineers, as well as our electrical engineer, Mike Kluber from Kluber Architects and Engineers. Guys, if you'd come up on stage, please. Our general contractor, we are joined tonight, is New Path Construction. We've got Justin Byer and Adam Garcia from New Path. If you guys come up on stage, please. We've got John Hosel with Ozinga Construction, who's here. I saw John earlier. Come up on stage, John. And then I've got one more introduction of our design team, and I'm going to pass the microphone off to him real quick. His name is Steve Vasilian, who has tirelessly been a part of this community. In fact, I'm standing in front of a project that Steve Vasilian designed for the Park District. Steve's actually the mastermind behind the Peg Bond Center and a number of other community endeavors. So ladies and gentlemen, can we get a big round of applause for our design and construction team? And please welcome Steve Vasilian on the stage. Steve, come on up. Now, Steve's got the, I guess we're getting in a picture. Steve's got the opportunity here to pack 5 years of design into a 5-minute speech. So we're going to hand the microphone off to him and let him tell you about the amazing features of this monument. There's not an inch of this monument that is not well designed. And so I'm going to hand the microphone off to him in 1 second when we get a picture.
Nice smiles, gentlemen. 1, 2, and
there you go.
The flag is a symbol of our nation. It celebrates the arrival of new states, is lowered to honor our fallen, and marks significant cultural and historic events. This monument immerses you in these stories and honors Dr. Bernard Sagrand for his efforts in the campaign to recognize Flag Day. A helix constructed of poured concrete was chosen for this monument. The helix, a shape that rises as it rotates, is the perfect shape to describe the aspirations of a young nation and its steady population growth. The beginning of the helix represents our 1776 population, thank you, of 2.6 million people, and its height rises steadily until it reaches its highest point and our current population of 330 million. In a few minutes, you'll see the helix laid out in full scale on the ground. The floor of the helix will be thermally heated, allowing safe year-round access. The floor will be built of marble pavers, which will be marked to represent the passage of time in 30-year increments beginning in 1776. Colored ceramic tile will be placed into recessed bands that ring the walls of the helix. Red tile will show the length of time each of our 27 flags have flown. Blue tile will show the periods of our nation's major armed conflicts. White tile will depict other historic events such as the Great Depression or scientific achievements such as the Wright brothers' first flight. Each tile band will have a plaque describing the event. These features all come together so that when standing within the monument, a visitor can learn what flag was being flown, how many states were joined into our union, the population, whether we were at peace or war, and what significant national and local events occurred relative to any period in our nation's history. There are 5 marble obelisks, and these are spaced equally around the perimeter of the helix, and they're marked in orange on the ground when you walk over there. They will highlight and commemorate iconic flag events. The first obelisk, placed front and center at the entrance into the helix, will feature Dr. Segran and his efforts resulting in the creation of Flag Day. The second obelisk will talk about the Continental Congresses establishing the first flag, and with Betsy Ross as the likely seamstress. The third will tell the story of Francis Scott Key and his writing of the Star-Spangled Banner following his witnessing of the shelling of Fort McHenry. The fourth obelisk will depict the iconic photo, the raising of the flag at Iwo Jima in World War II. And the last will highlight the placing of the US flag on the moon on July 29, 1969. The tapered obelisk will also contain uplighting designed to provide nighttime illumination of the flag majestically flown on a 50-foot pole. A granite and brick walkway around the perimeter of the monument is called the Ring of Honor. The ring draws its name from those who have received our nation's highest military award, the Medal of Honor. About 3,500 service personnel have received the medal. Of these, 204 are from Illinois. These include two living recipients, Hal Fritz and Al Lynch. Al Lynch is with us this evening. All recipients will be honored with plaques on the periphery of the ring. Each will be inscribed with the recipient's name, rank, branch of service, the Illinois town or city from which he hailed, and the date of his meritorious action. It is the hope that some will walk the ring and notice that 47 of the plaques bear the identical date of May 22nd, 1863 for the meritorious action. Maybe their curiosity will be sparked and they'll go home, look up the date, and then read about the Battle of Vicksburg. They may learn that there were 4,900 Union casualties that day. 120 were awarded the Medal of Honor, and 47 hailed from Illinois. The ring also contains space for nearly 5,000 individually engraved pavers acknowledging your generous donations. And in case you're wondering, donations are still being accepted and will be remembered in these special bricks. Each of the 5 major service branches will also be recognized on smaller monuments spaced outside the helix, and you'll see those marked in yellow. Adjacent to the helix will also be a water feature depicted by a series of 6 blue circles to the immediate west of the monument. The water feature will create a soothing background as well as providing something fun to interest younger children. And I have to admit, I wish I could run through a water fountain right about now. While this project has a large focus on history, there's also a significant science component. Adjacent to the monument will be a Sundial Learning Center. You'll see it as the white circle just east of the helix, where visitors will learn about the Earth's orbit and how shadows vary with the changes in seasons. For the flagpole itself will serve as a sundial. Its shadow will pass directly over plaques at the exact date and time associated with historical American events. For example, imagine it is noon on November 22nd. On that exact day and time, the shadow from the flagpole will pass over a plaque or marker describing the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The result will be a monument that is dramatic, artistic, and educational, honoring the history of our flag, the story of our nation, and the cultural events that define us. I live and work in Batavia, and on behalf of the many people who've contributed to the realization of this project, I thank the Fox Valley Patriotic Organization and the leadership of Austin Dempsey for seeing this project through to today's historic groundbreaking. Thank you.
Thank you, design and construction team. These hardworking guys are going to bring a national caliber monument right there for future Fox Valley residents to enjoy. Can we get another round of applause for these guys? Thank you. In a brief moment, we are going to be heading over to the monument location to actually put a shovel in the ground and do the ceremonial groundbreaking. During this part of the presentation and anytime after, there's some other really amazing things that are going on around here today. In the very cool and air-conditioned Peg Bond Center behind me, if anybody would like to check them out, there are some really awesome historical artifacts and flag-related artifacts in the air-conditioned Peg Bond. It is open. Feel free to swing by. The Boy Scouts of America are doing an official flag retirement demonstration. If anybody has ever seen one of those done, the official retire of the flag is done in a very reverent ceremony. That's being done, I believe, over by City Hall for you to take a look at, which is great. We're going to be moving to the groundbreaking area in a second, where we're going to take some photos. And at approximately between 6:50 and 7 o'clock tonight, the Boy Scouts are going to do an official flag lowering ceremony. When that happens, because there will be other activities going on, if you could just pause and draw your attention to the flag as they officially lower the flag, that would be great. Now, in a minute, I'd like you to all join me as we progress over to the monument site, but don't go yet. Because I want to make sure that everybody has their little waving flags that were provided by the Sons of the American Revolution. We are going to have some drone photography taken when we go over to that site, which should be very, very cool. And we'll get some pictures of all of us waving the flags. But also being unveiled as we speak at that site are a number of historical flags for you to view. These flags are being held by members of our community, by first responders and military personnel. And so when you go over there, please have an opportunity to take a look at some of these very cool historic vintage flags. The highlight of which, I had to get this down here, was a flag that is a 38-star naval flag that flew on the aft of an American warship in 1877. The flag that flew on the back of a warship is actually going to be over there for you to take a look at, a 38-star flag, which is super cool for everybody to see. Now next, what comes next? So we're going to break ground today, then we're going to build the monument. I'm sorry, folks, it won't be done overnight. It's going to take a full year of construction, and our goal is to have this monument built and dedicated with a ribbon cutting 1 year from today, and we hope all of you and many of your friends will be here to celebrate that awesome event, which is great. If you want to find out updates, you can visit our website, flagdaymonument.com, for construction updates and to participate or volunteer in all of our events coming up. We're happy to have any help that we can get and all the support from the community that we can. Now, before we move over there, I'd like to welcome on stage, his name has been mentioned several times, but I'd like to bring him up on stage. It is a true privilege for me to honor and welcome a true American hero, Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, Mr. Al Lynch. Al, will you please join us on stage?
Thank you. Thank you. This is just awesome. We need to have something like this in every community in the country. You know, a lot has been going on with the flag over the last 3 years and before. I think what a lot of people don't realize is no matter who you are, no matter what race, what color, what religion, even if you're a foreign national, and we have a lot of those that serve, that flag drapes the coffin of every service member who dies on active duty. That flag is presented to their surviving husbands, wives, children's mother, father, and so on. This memorial, this monument is so important. We're not a perfect country, Lord knows, but we're far ahead of most everybody else. Just think of China and Korea, North Korea, the USSR, Russia, well, USSR, and all the rest. We are blessed to be in this country, blessed to have the freedoms we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. Just stand in the middle real quick. We'll get a quick picture.
All right, go. Nice smile, everybody. 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you, Al, for being here. Thank you all for being here. Now let's go make some history. To a history-making event. I'm here buzzing above me, so I hope the drone is going into position. At this point, if you could all hold up and wave your American flags for about 2 straight minutes, we are going to get some pictures of this incredible event. And all of us waving and smiling as we get ready to break the ceremonial ground for the very first time. And in case you're looking, the drone's right above us. So everybody wave and smile.
Hello, drone.
Love it.
Yeah. It is so steady.
We've got like 10 minutes left of battery.
And that should have been, hopefully, enough time for the pictures.
Bring it down.
All right, at this point in time, we are going to move forward with the ceremonial shovel on the ground. Now, in a way to help bring volunteer labor, every group that's going to be putting a shovel in the ground is going to have to dig a utility trench. Okay, maybe not. But thank you guys for being here. We are joined up here with Al Lynch and the rest of the Fox Valley Patriot organization, the board of directors who have tirelessly worked for the last 6 years to bring this monument project to where we are today. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take several pictures of each group. We have a number of different groups. While the program is going on with the shovels in the ground, feel free to check out any of these awesome historic flags, the Peg Bond Center where there is air conditioning, and a video, a 3D rendering video of the monument that was put out by Steve Vasilian, as well as other historical flag items. And then, again, at 6:15, we are going to be moving forward with a flag lowering ceremony. So between now and then, please talk to your neighbor, the people next to you. We're all patriotic Americans. We are all in this great nation together. We are stronger together, and God bless the United States. welcome up members of the Batavia Park District. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome up representatives from Flag Source. If we have any members from Flag Source here, please come on up. Flag Source is a company right here in Batavia that for how many years has been producing our national emblem? 102 years made in Batavia. Can we get a big round of applause for Flag Source?
Kevin. So he's got this swirly